mind and also our mind to talk about how technology can facilitate our teaching and learning. Okay, so Prof, the time is yours. We are ready for having lessons from.
Okay, thank you, Arifa. Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Morning.
Morning.
it's 8:30 in your time.
Yes, right.
I always amazed, how early we get up and start the day. Even in Australia, I found that people start the day quite early, like even like 8 o'clock. They have a meetings.
Okay. What about in Korea?
It's not normal to have a lesson like 8:30.
I
People
see.
will not be very happy.
Okay.
It's like an 8:30 lesson. I think normally, because we start work normally from 9 a.m. and then the lessons. I think earliest one probably 9:30. Yeah, something like that. So our morning time is kind of slow.
Yeah.
All right. So great to see you back to the class. Okay. Are you all connecting from the same area, or is it around the country, all over the country?
Most of us in Solo. Most of us
in Solo.
Yeah.
All right.
In Solo, but we are in different places. Some of the students are in the school where they have to observe, and some of the students from the campus from ONS.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, great. So what I plan to do today is that I firstly start with reviewing some of the concepts, because yesterday's session was a little bit more theoretical, and then I introduced you some of the frameworks that you can use to better understand like types of online learning or seamless learning and types of communication tools and things like that. So I'm going to review some key concepts, and then we stop at the motivation strategy, like motivation design strategies. So I will cover that. And then we can move to the assessment. So that's assessment will be the main topic for today's session. Does this sound okay? All right. So it's always very important to review some of the key concepts, although it was like a yesterday. Yeah. So what I plan to do is okay, so let's use the whiteboard to review some of the key concepts that we learned yesterday. So can you think about what are the key concepts? Key ideas that we discussed, right? So we start with the interaction, right? So we think interaction is very important to design online learning. Is it right? Okay.
Yes.
And then I say there are 3 types of interaction that we can design in online learning. Can you remember what are 3?
Students
First
with
interaction
content,
is
students with students, student with teachers. Why? So all students, you mean?
Yeah. So learner,
and
learner content.
Learner and content. All right. And learner.
Student.
And
Learner,
teacher, instructor, right? Okay, so these are the 3 types of interaction that we can design, right? But I say that in the past, we focus so much on delivering knowledge. So what was emphasized in such design of online courses? You probably emphasize this one and also this one, right? So much focus on content delivery. But as I say that now, it is important to consider or helping students to share knowledge and also building knowledge together. So now learner and learner interaction, how you promote learner-learner interaction becomes really important. Okay, is it clear now? All right,
Yes.
so always think about, okay, it's not just you, but always think about how I can engage my students to talk each other and work each other online. Okay, then let's move to the communication. So online learning is part of communication. And then I say there are two ways to understand how communication happens, right? Two factors. What are the two factors? Time and location. Yeah, time and location. Time is what are the two factors under time? Whether learning happens like us now, like a real time or non-real time. So it's like whether it's a synchronous versus asynchronous. Okay, is it clear? Yeah, whether learning happens synchronous or asynchronous. And location-wise, learning can happen face-to-face versus online, right? So these are the two frameworks that you need to understand. Then I say like a traditional learning is everything happens face-to-face, right?
Yes.
And also when we say like e-learning and online learning, right? So traditional concept of e-learning, everything happens fully online, right? But since like a COVID-19 and now what is more common is blended learning. So as the name indicates, you blend. So you blend what? Face-to-face and online, right? So you blend face-to-face and online. But I say in the traditional concept of blended learning, face-to-face was what? You do face-to-face lecture. Yeah. You deliver lecture face-to-face. And maybe assignment and discussion is online. Is it clear?
Yes.
All right. But I say these days, flipped learning becomes really popular. So flipped learning is like a flipped, right? It's like a flipped. So
like
you do
mobile phone.
lecture.
Yes.
Online is lecture. So you do lecture. So it has to be very short. You can't deliver like a 1 hour, 2 hour lecture. It has to be very short. And then when they come to classroom, what do? Activity and discussion, which we think is a higher order thinking skills. Because that's why it's flipped. Is it clear?
Yes.
All right. And then the last thing that we talked about was, but it's still very difficult to engage students. Their motivation to learn is low, right? So we have to consider how we can level up their motivation. I say there are 4 factors that you need to consider when you design. What are these 4?
Relevant.
RCS. Yeah. What A means? Attention, right? You need to get their attention. The second, R means make the content relevant to them.
Confidence.
C, make them competent. Yeah. Make them competence.
Ya, tapi sebagian, walaupun ada beberapa.
And S means what?
Ya itu tinggal ditambah aja.
Satisfaction. Make them satisfied about their learning experiences. All right. So this is the point that we stop. So we stop at the ARC theory. All right. So this is the one that we are going to start from today's session. Okay. So this is a quick summary of what we did yesterday. Okay. All right. Then let's move on. All right, so this is where we stop. And then I mentioned to you that the dropout rates in MOOCs are really low. Yeah, many students cannot complete. Can you guess like what is the percentage of completion in general MOOC courses? Can you guess? You can type your guess in the chat box. For example, like 100 students start the course, how many complete at the end? Can you guess the percentage? Type your guess in the chat box. 10%. I got 10%. Yeah, so at least 10 will complete. How about others? What do you think? 20. Oh, so yeah, it's higher than 10%. How about others? 70. Wow, you are very optimistic. 25. Yeah, on average, 85 dropout. Oh, I'm asking about completion. Yeah, so 85 dropout and 15%. So your guess is between, I guess, like a 10 to 20 or 25, that range, right? So you think that at least like 1/4 of the students will complete the class, right? But in fact, yeah. So in fact, what the research says is less than 10%. It could be 5 to 7%. So if 100 students start the lesson, only 5 to 7 will complete everything. So many of them will drop in the middle. So that's the phenomenon of MOOC. Why is that so? Yeah, I mean, they decide to take the course and it's out of their interest. Why is that so happening? But it's like the motivation to learn, right? So what I'm going to do is that let's brainstorm ideas first. So I already introduced to you that 4 factors are important to increase the student in motivation. So attention, relevance, confidence, and satisfaction. So we are going to use the Padlet and for you to post your idea, okay, for each element. Let me switch to this one. So I'm going to share this Padlet. So what you need to do is think about one strategy that can be related, for example, satisfaction, okay? Satisfaction, and what will be the strategy for satisfaction, including their satisfaction. Like what I can do is like a extra point for on time submission or something like that. Okay, yeah. And then you can post your idea like this. All right. So think about the strategy. So indicate what is the factor that you are focusing on, like a satisfaction or relevance or confidence, and then put up your strategy. Is it something that this can be something that you try out with your students, or it could be something that you did as a student as well. So I'm going to share with you the Padlet link. Okay, so can you go to this Padlet link and share your strategy? Yeah, great. I got one idea about attention. Maybe it's not appreciation, it's attention. So we need to stick to the 4 factors. Yeah. You can think about other factors as well, like a relevance or confidence. Okay, great, about the relevance. Okay, I'll give you 1 more minute. Okay, great. So let's sum up some of the key concepts, key themes coming up from your ideas, the ideas that you generated, right? So attention. So what is the key idea coming up? All right, attention. What I can see from the answers is like starting with interesting examples or story, okay, to get their attention, okay? So that's mentioned frequently. Relevance. Relevance, the idea is, yeah, so make relevance is like make sure what they really want, right? Their needs, yeah, the students' needs, right? And then I think there's one answer, yeah, the relevance based on their real needs, right? And confidence, okay. Oh, don't compare the students. Confidence, encourage their curiosity. And also, I like this idea, like asking students to share their experiences and ideas as well. Satisfaction, yeah, satisfaction. Satisfaction, giving some reward for their answers and questions. So giving some points, like we are doing this kind of activity and you get like extra points by doing that, okay? Okay, so great. So these are the strategies that we can think about, and then the strategies that I'm going to share with you may not be that different from what you have just generated. So let me share with you some additional strategies that you can consider. Okay, so what I try, this is the example that I try in when I did a project in Mongolia, and in fact we use like a Facebook to teach English to the students. And then because we give like an assignment through Facebook, and then we have this rule to give them like extra points, okay, extra points when they post their ideas and when they submit their assignment. So they get like 3 points if they submit their answers faster than other students, correct answers 5 points, and also creative answers get additional 5 points. And they accumulate points, and then at the end, we rewarded like 3 top students. Okay, so this is very simple, like a gamification. We call it like gamification, a reward, make them satisfied. So these are the elements that you can consider when you design your online courses. So for example, I think this was mentioned, like make the content visually appealing to the students, all right? Don't just put the text only. There are so many multimedia contents out there, like very interesting video clips and sounds and images, okay? Also provide rich examples. Examples are really interesting, or the stories are very interesting to capture their attention, okay? And also give them some tasks that stimulate their curiosity. Relevance, okay? This is I feel this is most important. So teach the knowledge or skills that can be directly applied to their field, right? So if you're teaching the students, right, for example, going to the tourism industry, so teaching them like a speaking skills, how to speak to the client is like an immediate task or skill they need, right? And teach those skills, and they will be very motivated, okay? And give them some choice to the students. So because the students have different needs or different interests. So rather than just giving them one choice, give them several choices so they can choose based on their needs or interest. Confidence, make them confident. Make them confident is, in fact, we can do it by making our assessment criteria transparent and clear to the students, which I'm going to talk about later in the assessment part. And also try to adjust the difficulty levels based on individual students. I know this will be difficult when you do like a very traditional test because you cannot like adjust the difficulty level. As we are using more like a technology-based, computer-based testing, it can be possible with that, okay? And this is very important. Give them some successful opportunities or some successful experiences in the beginning of your class, okay? So maybe you can give them a very easy task for them to complete, and that they can complete and they feel very satisfied. If it's like, oh, I did something very meaningful and I can do it, this kind of feeling. So give this kind of feeling very early in your course, okay? And they will be more motivated. Satisfaction, okay. There are 2 types of motivation, okay? The first one is we call external motivation, and the other one is internal motivation, intrinsic motivation, extrinsic or intrinsic motivation. So extrinsic motivation is giving them some incentives, okay? Like points or things like that, right? So this can be extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is more about make them internally motivated, right? So when they are motivated, in fact, I found the students are very motivated when they can share their experiences or their ideas, okay? And perhaps we can use like a social media to engage them to talk and share their ideas, right? Here, the learner-learner interaction comes in, okay? So I hope these strategies that you can incorporate in your design of your online lesson. Okay, so this one we will skip because I integrate this activity with today's activity. All right. So far I covered some of the theories behind online learning and interaction design. Do you have any questions before we move to assessment?
Yeah, is there any questions? Hello, everybody. Yeah, is there any questions or any comments about the X? Yeah, I have a questions, Prof. So sometimes, as the teacher, we consider about this X method, but sometimes the students are not familiar with this kind of model. For example, like this, such kind of like MOOC or flip classroom. It is unusual for them to have this classroom. So they thought that this is not suitable for them. Yeah. And sometimes they also they ask to the administrations or talk to the headmaster or talk to their parents that they are not learning with the teacher. So how to solve this kind of problem?
So they are not learning. What was your last point?
So the teacher tried to apply this to the students, but the students feel that this is unusual or unfamiliar with them. They feel that they are not learning with the teacher. So they talk to the parents or to the administration or to the headmasters. So what do you think about this?
Interesting question. I can share one story. So I did a project with Microsoft, and you know this program Minecraft, right? Minecraft, and then this teacher used this Minecraft to teach what was his subject? Social studies, and also mathematics. So social studies, okay, social studies. So when I entered the classroom, every student were in front of the computer and then use Minecraft, right? So if you're a headmaster, if you're a parent, you enter the classroom and then you found that the students are using a computer and the whole time they are using Minecraft. What do you feel? How do you feel about it? Uncomfortable? Or you feel like, oh, it's a new approach, so we should do more?
Yeah, the second one.
Yes, it's so because it is deviate the image of classroom. So the image of the classroom that we have is like there's a teacher in front of the students, telling the knowledge to the students. All right, the students are always pay attention to the teacher, right? So that's the image that we have about good class.
Yes.
But I must say that with the use of technology, we need to change that image. Okay, you are not the only one talking in the class. You shouldn't be. Okay, you shouldn't be the only one talking. In fact, even in this class, I'm the one talking the most. And the second one will be Arifa, right? The instructors are always talking. So what is the outcome of that? me and Arifa, the ones who learn the most through this process,
Yeah.
right? So we shouldn't be doing like that. So you should be talking and you should be asking questions, right? So, and you should be engaged in the activities, right? So, so short answer to your question is like we probably, it takes time, but we probably need to change our perception of how the classroom looks like, how the classroom should function. And also the students also need to change their mindset as well. They cannot be just passively sitting there and they also give me knowledge, that kind of attitude. It's not productive. They need to be more proactive. They need to show their curiosity. They need to show their willingness to learn. So that's the image of the classroom that we need to advocate.
Yes. Okay. So just believe in our belief. Is that right?
Right.
Just believe to
So
our
I got
beliefs.
another question from Tri
Wardati.
Wartadi. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for your question. You get extra point. Do you have? For satisfaction. Most of my students are so shy if their works are shared in social media. What should do, because sharing something in social media is related to privacy? Okay, good question. So I have two perspectives. So what research says about these shy students, okay, is that they might be shy in the classroom, but they may be very active in social media. In fact, if you look at your friends, right, they look very shy and very, they don't talk too much, but in social media, it could be like influencer. They are so active in social media, right? So you can't assume that students in the classroom very shy will be also shy online. They may be different. Okay, but your question is the students are shy for sharing their work, right? Then make it anonymous. It could be because of this feeling that when I share my work, it could be criticized, all right? And so make them uncomfortable to share. So then it could be just anonymous, yeah. And then in fact, it could be more productive if you do it like an anonymous critique, or ask them to use like a nickname. Carolina and so what should we do as a teacher when our students lack of motivation because of their family problem, like a divorced? Yeah. Or whether it's okay to enter their personal life. That's a very good question. It's an emotional problem, right? No matter what you are trying to do as a teacher, the problem comes from the student emotions and their family situation and home situation. I feel it's not about entering their personal life. Showing empathy to the students is important as a teacher. In fact, I also had a similar experience, although it was a graduate student, it's a graduate school student, but she was having so much difficulty in her life, right? And she almost was trying to give up her study. I think it happens to all of us, right? When in our life, as an instructor or as a teacher, what can we do? But don't ask too personal questions. Let them share, okay? You need to listen to them. Listening is most important strategy. And then empathize. So showing their empathy will be important, and then let student share how he or she feels, okay? And what kind of help that they need, okay? And start from there. And then do you have like a school counselor available in Indonesia? Do you have like a school counselor, like a psychologist available?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, then yeah, refer the students to talk to school psychologist because they have a better expert knowledge how to deal with. In fact, these days, many students get depressed and also they think very extremely. So counseling, the psychological counseling becomes really important, high demand for that. Okay. All right, so very good questions from all of you. All right, so let's move to today's topic, assessment. Oh yeah, how to help students when. Yeah, okay, so I will address this question at the end if we have time. Thank you for your question, Nisa, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's move on, assessment. Okay, so designing assessment for online learning, let's talk about it. So we did a review of the first part, and then, okay, so I will introduce some of the principles that you can apply to design online assessment. And I will also talk briefly about what will be the future look like in terms of assessment. Okay, assessment. Anyone likes assessment or test here? How do you feel? It's like this is something you want to avoid, right? But think about it, like if you have to do it online, it's more scary to do it. So this one is very interesting study, and during the pandemic time, year 2020, it was in US. There's AP courses for high school students. It's advanced placement exam. So what this AP test means is that, in high school, those students who do very well in high school, they take this AP test. And when they pass, it can be transferred to their university credits. So they can take less courses, like physics. They can pass the physics, and they don't have to take it when in class when they enter university. So this is what AP test is for, and there are 3 subjects here: calculus, literature, English literature, and physics. And this is Google search trend. Okay, that shows what happened. This is the online test without any supervision. So every student took this test online. There was no supervision and proctoring. And what happened here? What this data tells you? This line means the keyword, the search by the students. So since most of you are English teachers, so let's look at this one. So the students are taking English literature test online, all right? So these are the keywords they search. What this data tells you? There was a peak time here, right? That means most of the students were searching these terms. And if you match this time, you get approximately what time the exam started. In fact, exam started at 2 p.m. and you see that search was peak at around 2 p.m. Okay. So what happened is that it was the AP test, and then most of the students were searching using Google to search for the answers. Is it expected or not? It's kind of expected, right? So why do students do online cheating? Okay, this is very interesting article, online cheating during COVID-19. Okay, so why do they do that? So we need to understand their psychology behind. Why do they do that? Why did they do online cheating? All right, it's because it's a competition. It's a competition. You can read this paragraph that I took from the article. So what this paragraph means is, first, the students believe that every student can cheat because it's online, right? It's not only me, other students can do as well. So if I do cheating, I will pass the exam. If I don't do it, I may be below the average. So I will fail the exam. That's the psychology thinking going on the student's mind, okay? Then this makes me wonder whether we are creating a situation in online teaching where so students they choose to do cheating, all right? And is there a way that we can minimize? First solution that we can think about is this kind of technological solution. In fact, this University of Arizona, they are doing this online proctoring. You know online proctoring? So this is the students taking the test, and she is the proctor. Okay, so during the test time, she will observe the students. Okay, so this is the online proctoring system available. Okay, but do you think it's a good solution or not? Online, the remote testing proctoring. Is it a good solution or not?
Not perfect yet.
Not perfect. Why?
Yeah.
So the procedure is, I think they connect each other, and the students need to show their ID to show that this is me, and then things like that. And then she will ask the students to, show your face, and then and then she will observe the students throughout the test. Why this is not a good solution? I guess firstly, it costs the money. Like it's the cost. It's not really cost effective if you want to do it for all the students. And second factor is most important. Like the students feel uncomfortable when someone that they don't know is watching you all the time during the test. So it increases their test anxiety. Therefore, their performance may not be good. Okay. So this may not be a good solution, right? Then what else can we do? So let me share with you some facts about online cheating assessment. So as I shared through the previous example, they are likely to do online cheating if the return is high. Return is high. What does that mean? Okay, if I pass the exam, I will get promoted. Okay, I will get a lot of money. Or I will get the degree that I really want to get. So when the return is high, you will see more students will do the cheating. If the exam is not so important, they're not going to do it. All right. Cheating is always expected. It's always, you have to remember that it is always expected. And this is very funny. The students will always find some way to cheat. No matter what you do as a teacher, they always find some ways to cheat. All right. And the online testing has limitations. All right. So it is expected. And then students always find a way to cheat, right? Even like these days, I heard that there's a like IP tracking solution. So they will track where the students are taking the task. It happened in my university because it could be they are taking the task in the same place and that they can share their answers. Yeah, but so they started tracking IP, the internet address as well. So let me share with you 3 principles that you need to consider, all right, for good online assessment. The first one is shifting our mind of assessment. And second thing is linking goal and assessment. And third principle is multiple ways of assessment. So let me explain these 3 things one by one. So first is we need to shift our mind about assessment. And this becomes really important in online teaching. So you probably heard about 3 perspectives of assessment. Assessment of learning, assessment as learning, and assessment for learning. Okay. Think about typical tasks that you do in your class. Like at the end of the semester, you give them as students to take a task, right? Exam. Most of the tasks that we give our students are what? It's the assessment of as for. You do the task at the end of the semester to measure their knowledge. What is it?
Of learning.
I think
Of learning. Okay, you test how much they learn. And it happens after learning ended. That's why we call this is summative assessment. It's like a summarize or a summation of assessment. Okay, great. All right. Whereas formative assessment is like a formative, it's a process in the process, the formation process. So you do the assessment during the learning process, and that becomes assessment as learning. Assessment is part of learning, okay? And assessment for learning. By doing the assessment, it prepares students for the next step, okay? So if you shift from assessment of learning to assessment as learning or for learning, the responsibility goes from teachers to the students. The students has more responsibility. Okay. Do you know the term high stake or low stake? Do you know the difference? High stake exam or a low stake exam? Can anyone give an example of a high stake exam? You will see this term a lot.
High requirements.
Yeah, high stake exam, low stake exam. High stake exam, you will hear this term a lot. High stake means what? Arifa, you say something, right?
Yes, it needs a lot of requirements.
In Indonesia, do you have like a university entrance exam?
Yes.
What is it called?
SNPTN. Yeah, SNPTN. SNPTN.
Okay.
Yeah, SM apa? SMP PTN ya? Salah. sorry. SNMPTN. Is this?
Yeah. And then all the students who want to enter university have to take the exam.
Yes.
And it's only one time exam, right? Or they can take multiple times.
They can take more than one.
Oh, they can take multiple times. Okay. SBM PTN. Oh, it's a long acronym. In Korea, we have also university entrance exam. In fact, it's coming up in 2 weeks. All right. All the students have to take the exam, and it's only one time exam. And then based on their test scores, they apply to universities. Japan has one. I think China has one as well. All right. It's like a very high pressure, and there's a national exam. Such exam is high stake. We call high stake. Okay. Low stake exam is like the consequences is not really high. Okay. It's a test maybe. Oh yeah, China has Gaokao. Yeah, Gaokao. Right. That's the term. Thank you for sharing Gaokao. And then you will see that very horror stories like how much the students spend time to prepare for that kind of exam. It's a high stake exam, and it's assessment of learning. So we need to change. When you do your online assessment, you need to think about make the exam lower stake and give students more responsibility. And you need to do assessment as learning or for learning. In fact, formative assessment is most powerful for learning. And this is very famous article about assessment and classroom learning. And what they find out, we can think about many intervention strategies, right, to increase student achievement. Most powerful or most effective factor is formative assessment, meaning that we do assessment along the learning process. And that is most powerful thing that you can do as a teacher. And to do that, you need to sort your mind that assessment is not for sorting the students, it's helping them improve their performance. Okay, so you can think about performance assessment or authentic assessment. So instead of giving them like a very dry test items, give them an opportunity to demonstrate their knowledge and skill. Also give them authentic tasks to perform, all right? Then they'll be more motivated and that they can apply their skills and knowledge in the future. Yeah. So if you only give them multiple choice test item and the students have only one time chance to complete the test, based on what we have discussed so far, there will be high chance of cheating. Now you understand, right? Because they only have one time, all right? And then multiple choice item task is assessment of learning, okay? But if you change your test, open book, project-based, or report, ask them to write a report, and the answer shouldn't be something they can easily find in Google, right? Then it's a lower chance or gain of cheating because they don't gain much by cheating if you change the mode of assessment. So this should be clear to you by now, right? This is an interesting way to monitor the students if you still want to do online testing. So one thing that is proven is, but they need to have like a camera. So having a side angle camera, so you can monitor their computer screen all the time. So this is one simple strategy you can try. So from now on, I'm going to share some of the examples taken from my class or my fellow professors' class as well. Since because it's like since it's taken from like my university, some of the examples in English. So, but I will explain it to you. So make students responsible for their own assessment. Okay, so reduce uncertainty. That means make the assessment criteria very clear to your students and also involve the students in the decision-making process. So what this teacher instructor did is in the beginning of the class, online lessons, this was done during the COVID-19, so everything was online. So what she did is she used the discussion forum, okay, and then make all the tasks like a scoring criteria very transparent to the students. So this is individual. This is individual assignment, so they get 30 points. And then you see that she explained like they get 1.5. All the criteria very clear to the students, and also she make it the checklist available for students to prepare before they submit the assignment. The students can check whether they did an online task well before submission. And also this is like a discussion forum open to the students because she want to hear the student opinion or idea whether the students want to do online test or not. So this instructor opened an online discussion and they hear about how the test should be done from the students. This is what I did in my class, because my class has a lot of concepts or theories that students need to learn. Therefore, I still had to do assessment of learning to make sure that they learn or they remember the key concepts. So I did online testing and I have about 40 students. It's very difficult to monitor all of them. So before the test, online test, I asked all the students to sign this contract for test integrity. So this is what I did. Okay, this is a translation. So I asked them to complete this one, and they need to check, agree, and then submit before taking this online test. So this is what they agreed to do, and then I translate into English here. And you can do something like this in your class as well. So ask them to sign this kind of contract before they take a test. Do you think this is effective or not?
That's depend.
It depends.
That's depend.
They can
to the
still cheat,
students.
right? They can still cheat
Yes.
online.
Yeah, but that's good because I pledged to uphold my honor as a student at EWA. So it gives another what we call something that we can hold as the promise to ourselves and
Yeah.
also our institutions.
It's a promise to yourself
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
student. Yeah. And in fact, I find it very effective. Like they pledge first before taking the test. It's like a promise to myself. It's not promise to the instructor. It's a promise to myself. Therefore, because it is my promise, I want to follow, right? I want to commit to my promise. And another strategy I did, if this is something you can do, is I give them, so the task was 1 hour. I give them a little bit more questions they can, so the number of questions they need to complete within an hour. I make it a little bit higher. That means they'll be very busy completing the answers. So it gives little time for them to cheat. Does it make sense? So like 1 hour, I give them 10 questions, all right? It's mostly essay questions, right? And then they're so busy answering the questions. Therefore, they have little time to cheat, because if they spend time for cheating, they lose time for completing the answers, isn't it? Yeah, so the gain is not very high. And this is also an example from my class. It's a peer evaluation. You will always have students who do not really participate in the group project. And you ended up being the only one doing all the tasks, right? So that's why students do not like to do online the group project. So what I did is, this is also interesting. So this is the group project, and I asked them to do peer evaluation and also self-evaluation. It's a group of 4, and each person has 20 points. All right. So in total, how many points do they have? Each person has 20 points, and you have 4 students, 4 in the group. So each group has how many points? 80 points, right? And then they need to distribute the points among the group members, including yourself. All right, yourself, and then it's a name. They need to write down the names and they give the points. For this person, she give herself 20 points, other members 20 points. What does that tell you? They equally participated. Okay, I've seen a case that she feels that she did all the work. She gave herself 40 points. This person didn't do anything. 0, 20, 20, right? Still the sum is 80, but from here, what can you tell? There were just students who didn't contribute. Of course, you need to compare, cross-check. Yeah, cross-check to make sure maybe she feels like she's the only one doing it, but maybe others do not think in the way, right? So you can check like a group dynamics in this way, all right? So you can use this kind of simple strategy to do peer evaluation or self-evaluation. And then I tell the students that if I find a discrepancy in the scores, you may get less points in the group project. The second principle is knowing your goal for assessment. All right. So we know like a Bloom's taxonomy from low level to high level knowledge, right? If your focus is testing low level knowledge or concepts, or then it's fine to use multiple choice items and true and false and things like that. But if your aim is to more toward application, synthesis, and evaluation, you can't keep using multiple choice items. You have to move to like this kind of more like essay or simulations or portfolio and things like that. So low level, like a checking their understanding, you can use this kind of very quick online checking tool. And Mentimeter is the application that you can use to create multiple choice items. If you go to Mentimeter, you have this choices that you can choose your question type and then easily make online question items. And then you can create and quickly share. So let's do this one for fun. So I create one question item for fun, and you can go and check your answer. You can go to Mentimeter and then answer to the question. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so my question was, which country produced the most films in 2005 to 2019? You have 5 options: China, Nigeria, US, India, and South Korea. And because I've used this before, you have some previous answers, but you can guess which country is the produced the most films during this period. Okay, so I got answers from here. You can guess. Okay. So Nigeria got 2. You used to be 1, but I think some of you check Nigeria, right? All right. And yeah, Arifa, what did you check for the answer?
South Korea,
South Korea, is it because it's high here?
because I
How
just
about
watched.
others?
I just watched a Korean.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which country produced the most films in 2005? Yeah, during this period. In fact, South Korea is not the top. Yeah, all right. Anyone vote for India? Anyone vote for India? So India is number 1. India is number 1. Can you guess number 2? This is very surprising. Number 2. Nigeria. Nigeria is number 2. You may be surprised knowing that. Yeah. Nigeria in Africa produce lots of films. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, China. China is number 3. Yeah.
I see.
Linda, yeah, China is number 3. So this is kind of surprising, right? Yeah. So you may think that maybe South Korea or US will be producing the most films, but in fact, what the statistics says is India and Nigeria, the country who produce the most films, right?
Yeah.
Then you use this one to promote the discussions. Why is that so? Why is that so? Like India and Nigeria, the movie industry is just so high, so productive, and that you can lead the discussions after that. Okay. Maybe it's India is maybe because of the population. Yeah, it's very surprising. Yeah. Okay. And China is number 3. Another thing is, I will show you the one example as well. You are going to this image, all right? It's a bit difficult to, but you probably need to have a Google account to do that, okay? Can you go and click this link and see the image? Click this link and you will see an image. Are you seeing an image like this when you click it? Are you seeing it? Yes.
Yes.
All right. So this is also another very simple way to do it. All right. In your class, when you have a very good image, okay, what you need to do is, this is the 21 most beautiful places in the world to visit. And you need to identify where it is. Okay. How to do this? Like for example, me, I know this is Bora Bora, right? Okay, you can make this kind of competition in the class. Anyone? So this one, I know the answer, right? Other areas, you need to quickly pick one, and if you know where it is, yeah, type it. No, as much as possible. You may not know all of them though. As many as possible. Yeah. Click the area in the image, and then, but you first you need to know where it is, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, I got it. Taj Mahal, India. Taj Mahal, India. Looks like most of us know that place. Oh, we only know 2 out of 21. We need more. Let's see how many we can identify in this class out of 21. So we know this image, so don't click this anymore. Try to guess other areas. Yeah. So can you, Petra, yeah, Jordan, can you do that? Like, click the image and type your answer. That's how we are doing this activity. Let's see whether we got more answers here. Oh yeah, great. Tibet, Machu Picchu, great. Yeah. We still, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got allowed half of the places, right? Machu Picchu, Taj Mahal. Yeah. All right. Petra, yeah. Okay, great. Venice, Norway. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Egypt, you're right. Okay. So we identify more than half of the places. Okay. So if you're teaching, like for example, like places around the world, you can do this kind of activity first, check their understanding, and then increase their curiosity first. This is very simple activity that you can do using like one image, and then you can move to teach the content, right? So this is one simple strategy you can try. Arifa, do we need to take a break, like 5 minutes, or is it okay?
Maybe, do you need a break, everyone? Do you want to go to toilet?
Maybe
Or-
we take like a 5 minutes quick break, and then when you
Okay.
come back, yeah, I will continue. Okay,
Yes.
it's been more than an hour, so let's take a
Yep.
5 minutes break and come back.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Prof. So,
Yeah,
ya, silahkan untuk
Yeah,
istirahat.
yeah. Let's
Ambil
take 5
minum
minutes
dulu.
break, toilet
Yeah.
break.
Yes.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you, but don't run away. Come back.
Was it honestly the best? Cause I just wanna see the next 부지런히 지나온 어제들 속에 참 아름답게 Yeah, the past was honestly the best But my best is what comes next I'm not playing now for sure 그날을 향해 숨이 벅차게 You and the best moment is yet to come Moment is yet to come Yeah 다들 언제부턴가 말하네 우리 최고라고 원통할 수 없는 일스 이제 무겁기만 해 노래가 좋았다고 그저 달랠 뿐이라고 Promise that we'll keep on coming back for more 너의 마음속 깊은 어딘가 여전한 소년이 있어 Moment is yet to come, yet to come 당신은 꿈꾸는가 그 길의 끝이 무엇일까 Moment is yet to come 모두가 숨죽인 밤 우린 발을 멈추지 않나 Yet to come We're gonna touch the sky For the day we die Moment is yet to come 자 이제 시작이야 The best yet to come 언젠가부터 붙은 불편한 수식어 최고란 말은 아직까지 난 간지러워 난 말야간 음악의 좋은 걸 예전에 그때와 다르게 별로 아마 다른 게 별로 없다면 you say it's a lie 난 변화는 많았지만 변함은 없었다 해 어느 샷도 매 순간이 새로운 트레서 지금 난 마치 별세상 그때 나처럼 아직도 배울 게 많고 나 인생 채울 게 많아 그 이유 물어본다면 내 심장이 말하잖아 We ain't about it 이 세상의 기대 We ain't about it 최고란 기준의 스텝 We ain't about it 원각각 꼭 수많은 trophy We ain't about it Dream and hope and going forward We so about it 긴긴 원을 돌아 결국 또 제자리 Back to one 너의 마음속 깊은 어딘가 여전한 소년이 있어 Moment is yet to come, yet to come 당신은 꿈꾸는가 그 길의 끝이 무엇일까 Moment is yet to come 모두가 숨죽인 밤 우린 발을 멈추지 않나 Yet to come We're gonna touch the sky For the day we die Moment is yet to come 자 이제 시작이야 The best yet to come The best Cause I just wanna see the next 눈부시게 지나온 기억들 속에 참 아름답게 Yeah the past was honestly the best. All my best is what comes next. Never seeing you did the more. Good night, you and the best moment is yet to come.
Okay, so is everybody back? I didn't expect BTS. It
This is
becomes
the
BTS
this is
becomes like, yeah.
yeah. This is the idea is from my RA.
Yes, it wasn't me prepare BTS music, so it was, but it was like a motivation strategy to
Yeah.
get your attention. Yeah. Yeah, and satisfaction, yeah, to see like their faces. I
And
think one
also
of them is
relevance.
going to the military service soon.
Yeah, I
So
see.
they're gonna,
I see.
yeah, they're gonna stop performance for, I guess, like at least a few years because the members will need to do military service.
Yeah, yeah. That's good.
So in fact, there was a huge debate whether
Yeah.
they should go to military or
I
not.
see. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I assume everybody's back. Yeah, so it's good to have some break. Yeah, otherwise it's gonna be too tiring. Okay, right. Okay, so let's move on. So, okay, where I stop. So I show you some of the platforms that you can use to check your students' understanding, right? But so far I show you with like a Mentimeter to create multiple choice items, and also like a Google Drive to check their understanding, the image-based discussion and things like that. But if you want to measure higher order thinking skills, you probably need to move to more essay-based or more performance-based assessment. So another example that I can share with you is from my own class as well. So I was teaching this undergraduate class, and then throughout the semester, what they need to do is maintaining e-portfolio. So I asked him to create a website, and that they have to maintain this website throughout the semester. So they need to upload their reflections, share reflections. Also, when they do assignment, like it's mostly essay-based, they need to upload this e-portfolio as well. So e-portfolio is a way to evaluate their learning progress, because I can see what they think or what they're learning throughout the semester, rather than I measure them at the end. All right. So this is an example of one student. So one of the major project they have to do is designing a future school. And then one of the activity they did is interviewing people to identify what is the school that we want. So these students did a very good job interviewing people and then create a video clip like that. So I can quickly share with you this students' e-portfolio. Can you, this is this page? So this is an e-portfolio assessment that I did in my class, and you can see that the students put their her reflections and things like that. And this is assignment that she did and make it publicly available. And this is the video clip, and I want to share the audio with you. Can you hear the audio?
Yes,
Can you hear the
Prof.
audio?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so this is the video clip that my students created for the assignment. Let me know if it's too loud.
지난 수년간 다녔던 학교에 대해 만족하시나요?
저는 적당히 만족합니다. 만족합니다.
네. 예! 나름 만족합니다.
저는 제가 배우고 싶은 것들 많이 배웠던 것 같고
하고 싶었던 활동들을 다 최선을 다했기 때문에
여러 활동을 하고 그 여러 활동에 뭔가 가치를 많이 부여해 준다는 게
담임쌤들이 다 좋았어요. 선생님들이 좀 친절하셨던 것 같아요. 선생님들이 다 젊으셔가지고 공감이 되게 잘 됐었어요. 시설이 되게 좋았어요. 시설이 굉장히 깨끗했고요.
양질의 교육을 받았다고 생각합니다.
Okay. So, so you see that the students interview their friends and identify what they like about the school, and that at the later part, they also share what they didn't like about the school. And then my students come up with ideas to make how to make our school better. So this kind of video clip tells you a lot about what the students is thinking and how the students is performing. This is something that you cannot capture through the test or even writing, but this video clip tells you a lot of things. And I found that these days, the students can create this kind of video clip very well. It doesn't take much time or effort to do it. In fact, they like it. They like to do this kind of activity. So this is something you can also consider in your assessment. Okay, so let's move to the last point, last principle is multiple ways of assessment. So as I mentioned earlier, we always think the assessment happens at the end, but in fact, it shouldn't be, right? And this is typical flipped learning class, okay? So you have a pre-class lecture and also in-class activities and post-class activities as well. Can you check how many points this instructor is checking the student's understanding in this flipped learning? How many points is this instructor is checking students' understanding? You can type your answer in the checkbox. Five, yeah, 5 points. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 times, 3 or 5. Yeah, I got 5 a lot. 4 or 5, 4 times. Maybe 5. Yeah, so far I got 4 or 5. Yeah, all right. So let's check. Pre-class, right? Pre-class, lecture, no. Quiz, do you think is assessment? Checking understanding? Yes. Posting questions, checking understanding? Yes, right? Yeah. Lecture, mini lecture, probably no. Q&A, checking understanding? Yes.
Yes.
They do activities. As an instructor, you give them feedback. Probably, yes, this is a part of assessment. Another lecture at the end. And post-class, there's a summary and also reflection. Okay. How many points? 5 points, right? And this is a good lesson, right? Because remember, the key idea is you need to do formative evaluation, formative assessment during the learning process. And then this instructor has multiple points to check understanding. Okay, so this is a pretty good design. And in fact, formative assessment is the most important part for flipped learning to be effective. So we did Padlet a lot, so you can use in class idea sharing using Padlet, like what we did in this class. You can use Padlet for brainstorming ideas and also monitoring group project as well. This is the example from the group project. This is like a group A, B, C, and they are using Padlet to share their progress. Okay. Jamboard, we are going to use Jamboard later. This is another great tool that I found very useful. So especially in the Zoom setting. So in the Zoom setting, breakout rooms, right? Once I send you to the breakout rooms, as a teacher, I don't know what is happening in each room, right? Unless I go inside of each room, right? So how does discussion going on? Also, I feel like I don't want to interfere the group discussion, right? But what I usually do is I ask the groups to write down and share their ideas in Jamboard. And then I can monitor the ideas in real time. And then so I can do it like, oh, how many groups are doing well, and whether any group is not progressing well, and things like that. Okay, skip this one. So this is last point I want to share, the future of assessment. So future of assessment is that we are going to use technology a lot. And have you ever taken like a TOEFL or GRE, the computer-based assessment? Computer-based assessment, right? Is becoming really common these days. And it's going to be more common in the future. So assessment in the future will be embedded in the learning process, and it's going to be adaptive. Like in the past, it's very fixed, but adaptive means that we adjust the difficulty level based on your previous answer. It's already happening in the computer-based testing. Yeah, you can give real-time feedback, and it could be multimedia, very enhanced test items. And in fact, we can consider artificial intelligence in the future as well. And what this teacher is doing. So this is the teacher. She is taking a picture of what? This is worksheet, the test items. She take a picture, and what this application is doing is it recognizes the handwriting and then do the grading for the teachers. Okay, so that means you don't really have to grade them, all right? And the grading will be done by AI. Does it sound good? You want that? Yeah, you don't have to like do the grading and marking all the time. The AI can do it. Yeah, but
That's
I heard that
interesting.
accuracy is not very high though. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the technology is developing in the way that they can recognize handwriting and then do the automatic assessment. And another thing is happening is this is used in Open University in UK, and it tracks the students' data. Okay, it could be test data and whether they submit assignment online, on time, and attendance and everything. And then it gives the signals. Okay, maybe some students are at risk. So we need to do something about it, right? And then you see that this instructor is calling the students. Maybe she noticed something wrong, right? So now it's becoming more data-based. So you can identify the students who are behind or who are in need or at risk. You can identify them, and then probably we can help them before it is too late. Okay, using this kind of technology. All right, so the key idea is that we need to choose assessment consistent with your learning objectives. And we need to think of more learner-centered approach, like assessment for learning, all right? And then involve the students in the evaluation process, give them more choice and responsibility to the students, make your assessment clear to them. And also in the future, we may be able to use some technology that is very data-driven approach, and then maybe assessment can be done automatically. All right, so that's all for my today's lecture. And then for the rest of the time, we can do a simple activity. So Arifa, we have like 20 minutes for discussion and a small group activity. How much time do we have?
Oh, there are still 20 minutes more, Professor.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I want you to go to the small group, breakout discussion room, and then as a group, discuss this idea. Yeah, so basically what you need to do is we are designing flipped learning classroom, okay, flipped learning, and then think about assessment, okay? Like what you want, so choose a topic, okay? Maybe you need to choose the level, the grade level, and then what you want to do for pre-class assessment, also in-class assessment, and post-class assessment as well. And then choose create an example of assessment item. It could be like a multiple choice item, or it could be like a Padlet questions and something that we discussed in this class. All right. And remember, your strategy need to consider assessment for learning as well. It can't be just assessment of learning, but think about assessment for learning. All right. So have some discussions about this as a small group. So Arifa, I will need your help to make the groups, make small groups. Perhaps we don't make it too large like yesterday.
Yes.
Can they break like a 5 or 6 maximum?
Okay. Yeah. But Hairani,
Oh,
could you please...
okay. Before you do that, okay, I want to introduce you the Padlet. Okay, so you need to share and or record your group discussions in Jamboard. Okay, Jamboard. This one I'm going to share with you the link. Okay, let me get the link. Can you click this link?
Let me check, Professor. Yes, we can.
All right.
Okay. Professor, can we screenshot the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah. Yeah, so you will see Jamboard. This is Jamboard. It's a Google application. And I see many people are joining. Please join. You need to join. You don't have to have a Google account. You can join. And then I will put like a group one. How many group are we going to have? Okay. Depends, right? So group 1, use this one. Group 2, use this space. Okay. Group 3 and Arifa, how many groups are we going to have?
It's 12.
12?
12 groups, yes.
12 group?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to create 12 slides, but what you need to do is you follow your group number. Like if you are in group 1, in this slide, you need to discuss and record your activities. So I ask you to design assessment for pre-class, in-class, and post-class activities. So if you are in group 1, use this space to share your ideas. Is it clear to you?
Yes.
Yeah, if you are in group 3, for example, use this one. All right, I'm going to create more slides. All right.
Yeah.
And Arifa, now you can make the groups and then let them go.
Okay. So how many minutes, Professor, for doing this?
About 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Yeah, so everyone, please prepare yourself to the groups and then having discussions about the tasks that you have to do. Okay, Haira, please make it in 12 groups. So everyone, please join to the room. Yeah.
Sure, but this is a Jamboard then. So each group has a space, and then
Yes.
I can see how they progress, because
Yeah.
every group is working on this
Yes.
page. I found it useful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mbak Lutvika and Mbak Arini, you may join one of the group. Mbak Angki, Mbak Windy, Mbak, yeah, you may join the groups.
Yes, ma'am.
Mbak Angki. Hello. So there is no answer. I'm so sorry for remove some students, Professor, because I think that they are not concentrate on this online workshop. Sorry for this.
That's fine. It always happens, so that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I just think about this. If they are not concentrate, so what for they have to do this? So they can do another thing.
Yeah, I think it's like again, it's motivation, whether they are taking this based on their needs,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
If they don't find it relevant, it's just getting credits and that's it. Taking
Yeah.
attendance. and they
Mhm.
may not be so motivated.
Yeah, that's right. And this workshop, they will get the certificate. So this is I have to make sure that the certificate is based on what they have to their efforts. Yeah.
Mhm. So do they need to submit anything to show their achievement?
Actually not, but I just want to I just want them to learn something new, to learn from you. There is no
Yeah, yeah.
requirement.
I mean, there will be always learning, someone learning more actively than others, so it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they got some ideas how they can teach differently, I think it's okay, right?
Yeah. But I have the task for them to create. I have a project-based learning with them, so that's why by joining this class, they will get new insight and also new ideas how to create the classrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I them to design online lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Or
do
flip
this.
learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flip learning or lesson.
Yeah. So, Prof, so let me know what you need in Indonesia when when you are in Indonesia. So I will prepare the best for you.
So January, do you still have classes or it's like a break, university break?
Please make sure. But Hairani, January is the new semester. Is that right?
When is your new semester starts?
On March.
March.
Yeah.
Oh, so January is like a school break?
That university break. But for the schools, elementary to high school, they still go to the schools. But for the university, ini ya, Maret ya? Ya. Oh ya. Kalau Januari masih ada nggak? Kayaknya enggak ya. Yeah. So for the university students, they are in break. So do you need to have university or schools?
Depends like what we want to do
depends.
next year for our project. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a project with teacher professional development. This is regarding to that's pre-service teachers, but the pre-service teachers graduated from bachelor degree. So this is based on the government regulation that they have to continue 1 year program. We call PPG. Yeah. Yeah, you can see that there's a name there. So
okay, it's like a PGDE in Singapore. Yeah.
And all of the curriculums that they have to pass through is related to the technology.
I see. Yeah.
That's design thinking from what we call technology, new technology in language classrooms. Yeah. So I just think that it is good for them to know more and also having research with you.
Yeah.
And this program actually not new, but from the government, there is a kind of new platform and also new regulations. So the government, starting from this year, wants the teachers know more about how to make use of technology, how to design their classroom with technology. But still, the teachers got challenges and also difficulties. Yeah. And
Okay.
starting with the other things is we start to have a new curriculum. We call as curriculum merdeka. Yeah, in curriculum merdeka, it is like we introduce project-based learning, problem-based learning, and also discovery learning. Yeah, so this is the new platform from government.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I see how students are doing. Right, so they are writing down something. We probably need to give a little bit more time. Maybe. Oh no, we can't close. We need to give
okay.
more time. Give them 5 more minutes.
Okay.
So don't close. They are in the middle of the
Okay.
discussion.
Yeah. But Tiara, please don't close. 5 more minutes.
Yeah, 5 more minutes.
Prof, so next week, do you have time?
Next week
for sorry, 9 October.
What is that for?
I have a project with Open University to create MOOC, and if it is possible, you can give like what we call a little bit explanation or discussions about MOOC, and then how we can achieve the XAC, how we call it, ACX model. Is it possible?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just only 1 hour, for example.
But I'm not really MOOC expert.
It's okay. I think that we should learn from you how to create MOOC with the X model.
What time is it?
It is around that depends on you. It could be morning or in the afternoon. You can choose.
Okay. Is it like a who would be coming? Is it a meeting or is it?
It is a meeting, but it is only just internal meeting. It's only just maybe not more than 15 people. So most of them are lecturers. Most of them are Open University lecturers.
Okay. Wednesday, I have to go to the university. So also I have a deadline to meet. So I'm probably I can always I'm happy to answer any questions they may have, but it may be a little bit difficult to prepare something just for their meeting. Yeah.
What about if the materials is the ACT model, the ACT requirements, the attention, relevant, satisfaction? Yes, ACT model.
But they should know already, isn't it? It's not something new.
I'm not sure. But if they knew, I think that they can have this kind of a question and answer or
Yeah.
Because not all of them from technology education.
Okay.
They all from history, like history lecturer, and then communication lecturer, me, English, English lecturer. So I think that's a good if you can come. And
Okay.
because this is a 3 years research, I think that we can do more with this research. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We try to develop a program with open university, open Indonesian Open University. This is work together with EDX. Yeah. If
I
you
see.
can find, this is the platform that we that I work with my colleague. I write on the chat.
see.
IC Institute.
In Indonesia?
Yes.
Mm.
This is developed the 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 most influenced one is the Open University, Indonesia Open University, but they ask other universities to join. Maybe more than 15 universities.
Okay, so maybe the time is not enough for them to complete the activity,
Yeah.
right? So
I think
Arifa,
so.
are you continuing this lecture or this program with them, or will they meet again?
Actually, they are free after this. So if you want to have more time, it's okay, also.
I think we should wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very challenging for us to to think and also discuss with the limited time.
Yeah.
Hello, Mas Surya.
Halo Bu Arifah.
This is
Hi.
my RA, Prof.
Okay.
So, and he is now trying to get the scholarship for continue his study to doctorate program.
Okay, great. Yeah. All right. So are you back? All right. Most of you are back
Yes.
to the main room. Yeah.
Yep.
So how was the discussion? The time is not enough, right? Yeah. So I'm very bad at time management, and you probably need 1 hour for the discussion, isn't it?
Yes.
But at least you get to use Jamboard. How did you find it? Yeah, and so I was checking when you're there. I was checking how the group is progressing. Group 1, yeah, maybe started in this way. Group 2, yeah, about this way. Group 3, yeah, still working. Group 3, Group 4 did a lot, right? Yeah. Group 5, oh, you did pretty good, right? Group 6 was empty. Or you still discussing? Group 7, oh, you didn't use this one. You used the traditional way of using it. And group 8, wow, it's nice. Group 9, Yeah. Were you checking what other groups were doing when you did? Group 10, pretty good. Group 11 started the discussion. Group 12 was empty. Yeah. Oh, we didn't have more groups, right? It's empty. Yeah. Yeah. So group 7 is interesting. Okay. May I ask, like a group 5? Maybe we don't have much time, so maybe one group to share. May I ask group 5 to share? What was your topic and how you design assessment? Anyone group 5?
Yeah, probably I will answer for group 5.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, we designed for a self-assessment during in the year of design in a flipped learning using for the purpose is teaching vocabulary for TOEFL purposes. So we decided to we suggest we need to create a rubric at the pre-activities with the students. But actually, I'm still thinking about how to implement creating a rubric with the students in the online learning. Sometimes it's very difficult. Probably if we think about the creating rubric from teacher perspective, it's quite a little bit okay, but I don't know how to implement this thing when we have to work with students. And however, we also come up with the reading activities after creating the rubric. And then they create a vocabulary test. We have vocabulary test after the reading. Then when we put it in class, there are some teachers' explanation, including the feedback also and strategies for reading and collecting vocabularies. And then group divided them into some groups to make a flashcards, and then group discussion, and then they have a peer feedback on their projects to create a flashcard. And then at the end of the day, they also have self-reflection based on the whole process that they come from the rubric until the end of the projects.
All right, great. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I like the idea. Firstly, creating the rubric involve the students. It's not the teacher just create the rubric and give it to the students, but it's like a co-creation of the rubric with the students. I like it a lot. And then vocabulary test is more like a low-level test, so it can be done as a pre-activity. But in class, the teacher is more involved and also have a group discussions and peer feedback. So it's more aiming for higher order thinking skills, and post activity to have some reflections. And then maybe you can also give them a simple exercise for them to complete, right? Before coming to the next session. Okay, thank you very much. All right. Okay. So with that, I'd like to conclude today's session. And also, thank you for your active participation for day 1 and day 2. And I hope that you gain some new knowledge or ideas that can be applied to your teaching and also engage your students better in online classes. So if you have any questions or something to share, I'll be always available through my email. And I always say this in every lecture, but I never got an email from the students, but I still say that. Yeah, so you know my email address. I can leave my email address here. Yeah, so if you have any questions, please contact me. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. These 2 days give us a lot of knowledge and also experience, and hopefully that we can learn more with you next year or this year. And we hope that we can meet you in person. Yeah.
I plan to visit Indonesia.
Yeah.
When I'm here.
So students, don't go anywhere. So it is good for us to learn again with Prof. Face to face. And
I hope to see some of you in Indonesia.
Yeah. Okay, sure, Prof. So we'll do our best for preparing your coming. And
all right, thank you.
Thank you very much. And please give applause to Prof. and say thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prof.
Prof.
So much
For your
for
time.
Okay.
감사합니다.
See you later next time.
감사합니다.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you when I
Please
see
take
you.
care, Prof.
Yeah, see you.
Okay,
Next
so
time.
we can close this 2 days workshop. Thank you everyone for your coming and your attention. See you again. Bye.
See you again.
Assalamualaikum
Bye-bye.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bye bye.
Thank you for the committee.